everyone. Today we have our another new episodes on Global Talent Show. We have our global talent Dave Finnegan, and he has an excellent achievement because you know that also around the world we are also publishing his books, and we are sharing his very interesting books and action uh, based on family, Green Actioneer Family Actions. And recently he win Lifetime Achievement Award and so on from this uh, uh, University of Columbia. We are very excited, and Dave, we are proud of you. How you want to contribute with your Green Family Action here? How you want to build up new family
Sure,
actions
sure. Well,
in
that's
Asia
what,
Pacific?
well, all over the world, I hope that families will take the lead now in going green. Now, this all happens because I used to work in climate change, but climate change has a bad name now. So we don't talk about climate change. And what we talk about instead is families saving energy, saving water, saving money, and having a clean, green future for themselves and their whole community. We talk about going indigenous again, becoming indigenous to your own community. So, how do we do it? Well, it's a step by step process. It starts in the beginning of the school year when somebody who we call Professor Green, that could be me, it could be you, goes into the school with our book, the Green Actioneers Family Action Guide, and shows the book to all the kids. So now the kids are excited because they see the cool things that are in the book. And what is in the book? Well, it's 100 different actions that families can take to go green. It's actually 95 actions because we leave 5 blanks that the kids can fill in themselves. So the actions are things that everybody can do. Now, this is geared to the West. This is geared to North America, maybe Europe. So it probably has to be modified to make it work in the rest of the world because the things that we need to stop doing are not the same things that you need to stop doing. Maybe you're not doing them yet. And on the other hand, there are things that you might be doing that we're not doing. So we have to look at what it is that we are doing, and then we have to make a list of how we can change. So I did that with a sheet that is stickers. And so each sticker has one of the 95 actions on it. And in the school, at the beginning of the school year, every family gets a sheet of stickers and they get to transfer their stickers from their sticker sheet to their accomplished sheet once they've done whatever it is that is on the list. And so kids and parents have to work together on this. This is not just kids working alone. This is families transferring stickers from the sticker sheet to the accomplished sheet. We do that at family night. And family night is held in the school toward the beginning of the school year. And then, based on the number of stickers that the kids transfer, the family gets to put their name on one of these badges. And then the badges go out in the hallway of the school on the wall. There's a chart for each badge. The first one is just the Green Actioneers badge. And I suggest that that badge would look really good on the back of mom or dad's cell phone. So that's where the first one goes. The first one goes on the back of somebody's cell phone. The next one, however, goes out in the hallway. Once you've taken 5 green actions, then you get to become a sprout. Well, you know what a sprout is? A sprout is something that's just beginning to grow. But if you take 10 actions, you become a sapling. And a sapling is bigger than a sprout. It's not yet a full tree, but it's bigger than a sprout. If your family takes 20 green actions, then you become a mighty oak. And that badge goes out in the hallway on the mighty oak chart. And then you can become a majestic redwood with 50 actions. And if you take 80 actions, you become a giant sequoia. Excuse me, I'm going to turn that off. So you become a giant sequoia with 80 actions, and so that's the basis of the program. Is the kids get together with the parents, they go through the book, they go through the chart. The kids take the book home with them. That's really important. Every student earns their own book, and the way they do it is we send an envelope home at the beginning of the year, and on the envelope it says, "Dear parent or guardian, every time your child does something good for the planet, please put a little green, that means money, in this envelope. And when we hold family night for Green Actioneers, have them bring that envelope to school with them. They'll turn in the envelope, and no matter how much money is in the envelope, they get their own personal copy of the Green Actioneers Family Action Guide." Well, when we did this in a school recently, every envelope got turned in, and every envelope had the amount of money that we needed in order to be able to give them the book. So we at least broke even on that. It's not a moneymaker. I'm not in the book business. I'm in the culture change business. And so, yes, everybody went home with a book, and then they started working on the chart. And the parents and kids sat down together and started transferring their stickers from the sticker sheet to the accomplished sheet. And they were so proud when they went out to the hallway and put their badges up on the wall. So that's how the program starts. But how it keeps going is every one of the actions in the book has a song that I've written about that action. So there are 95 songs. And I did that thanks to the help of Suno, which writes songs for you. A wonderful app. And I'm sorry it uses so much electricity, but the problem with AI is not that AI uses too much electricity. The problem is, where does that electricity come from? If we used solar, wind, geothermal, and ocean energy, tide, and ocean currents, we could run the whole planet without ever having to burn fossil fuels. So the problem with AI is not that it uses too much energy. The problem is, where does that energy come from? So that's where I am now. I've got the songs. I also have created 95. Well, we haven't finished this part. This part we're still working on, but there's going to be 95 green action comic pages that are better for the little kids. So if you're in kindergarten, first, second, third grade, then this is a better approach than the print book. So we're putting all these pieces together. It's brand new. So we're going to test it, and we're going to test it thoroughly in Florida, where I live. And then we're going to expand it nationwide, and hopefully, eventually, with your help, we'll expand it worldwide.
Mhm. Thank you. My next question, as you're working with the children, so what role do children play as a green actioneer
Yeah,
in influencing sustainable behavior within the
sure.
household and communities?
Well, it's very important that the kids take the lead. Uh, and so I think that the strongest force in the universe is the nagging power of children. That when kids say, "Mom, why don't we do this?" That's very strong. Uh, uh, Mom, Susie's family has 18 up there and we only have 12. Can we get the book and find some things that we can do? So that's the role children are going to play. They're going to be the ones who take the lead. They're going to figure out what the things are that the family can do. They'll say, "Dad, we can put solar panels on our roof. They're not that expensive, and we'll make the money back in only 5 years." So there's this loan program that I found out about at school where you can borrow the money and you can put the solar panels on the roof, and then we never have to pay an electric bill again. Doesn't that make sense, Dad? And that's the sort of thing that I think we're going to hear. So we want to use that small nagging voice of kids to get the parents to take action. And that's the most important, I mean, the most powerful force in the universe. And the second most powerful force in the universe is love of parents for their children. So we're going to combine the nagging power of children and love of parents for their children to change the world.
Thank you. My next questions, as around the world, we want to track the impact. So, how can
Yeah.
family measure and track their collective impact on climate action over time?
Yeah. I think that there are measures out there of carbon footprint. And that's one way you could do it. But that's complicated and takes time and it's higher math. What's much easier that everybody can do is count the number of actions that you're taking. So since we have in our book 95 green actions, and since you could add your own 5 green actions for the 5 blank stickers at the bottom, you can basically figure out how many actions you have taken and count them up. And so everything counts. So the wealthy family puts solar panels on their roof. That's one. The less wealthy family uh, eats less meat and more vegetables. That's one. So that one is one action. And since there are 95 actions, and most of them are free, the kids can easily become a mighty oak. And with a little bit of expense, they can become a majestic redwood. I don't know a family yet that can claim to be a giant sequoia. That's 80 actions. That's almost everything in the book. And nobody yet has come up to me and said, we're a giant sequoia family. At the school where we're testing this, the highest that we've gotten is some of the families are majestic redwoods. That's 50 green actions. It's a lot of work. So yeah, it's a step-by-step process, and the kids take the lead.
So, as you discussed about this family action, so what do you think? What will be the most effective ways to turn environment awareness into consistent action? Because I like your approach, because if I see this emerging economy, if I see this Asia Pacific, honestly speaking, like only with these climate actions, uh, the people come to the big conference, big halls, and the big peoples, they just discuss about climate change, right? But this is first time someone taking action for family. Family is the nucleus of the community, right? Family is the most valuable component in our global south, in our South Asia. So if family can take action, even though in the religion, in Islam and Hinduism, in Christian and everywhere, the family is the most valuable things. So in this family, if family can take initiative for this, what you call this 100 action and 95 actions, and what it free, I think that will be the real change of the community. So from there, what will be the most effective action from your 95 actions you want to share with us?
Well, I can't name an action that I love more than any other. It's like trying to tell you who my favorite child is. I have I have 3 children and I love them all. And so what I think is that each family has to go into the book and find the things that they know they can do and then start taking action. And then it's cumulative. They'll take a couple of actions that are easy, and then they'll get to put up a badge out in the hallway. And then the kids are going to go, but we could do some more. And then the kids are going to push it. Now, this is the only way that change has ever taken place in the world. Change does not trickle down from the top. Change bubbles up from the bottom. And if it's going to be lasting change, it has got to start at the bottom. The problem, I think, with the whole climate movement is that about 100,000, mostly men, fly somewhere every year. It's called COP. Congress of Parties, and they fly somewhere and they talk for 2 weeks about the climate. But if I go to a school and I say to the families, there'll be 100 families there, can anybody tell me what COP30 means? Not a hand will go up because people don't know, because the information that's been discussed at the international level has not reached the household level. And so people don't know what's happening at these Congress of Parties. And so they're ineffective, but they're continuing. And they somehow think, the leaders somehow think that this is what's going to change the world. That's not what's going to change the world. What's going to change the world is families taking responsibility for becoming indigenous again, to become sustainable within their own community and not to destroy their environment. Unfortunately, because of the growth of cities and the lack of people's attachment to the land, we've lost that ability to understand how we are just part of nature and we have got to work with nature, not against it. And so the most guilty among us are the most wealthy among us, because we have used so many resources in order to have a nice life. You don't need all those resources. What you need to do is live in balance. And so what we're trying to do is get families to get into balance and then convince communities to be in balance, which will convince societies to be in balance. And that's the way it's going to work. It's going to start at the local level and go up.
Yeah, this is very interesting. So in that situations, like what you are discussing is a very valuable knowledge. So how can integrational knowledge from elder to youth, like from you are transforming your knowledge to the youth community, strengthen sustainable living practice? What's your thought on that?
Well, I think there are two parts to the program. The first part is what happens in the school day by day, for kids to come in and move the stickers from the sticker sheet to the accomplished sheet and put up their badges. And that is what gets it going. But what keeps it going is what happens in the household and in the community. So that's why at the end of the school year, we have a parade for the planet. And Earth Day would be a great day to do that. And on Earth Day, every student takes a piece of cardboard that they were going to throw away. It's going to go into the dump. And they write on this cardboard the most important thing that they have done this last year. What's the step that you took? So in this country, it might be we bought an electric car. That might be number one. Or we stopped using some expensive product or something difficult. Let's just look at the list. Okay, we recycle all of our electronics. We don't just throw them in the trash. That's a big thing now. The world is full of electronic litter. So that's something that kids could do, and they could brag about it, and they could put it on a sign. Then they take that sign and they start in the school, and they walk the whole school, or whoever is involved in this program. They walk around the school carrying their signs, first inside through the hallways, then they go outside and walk around the outside of the school carrying their signs, and then they go to the local neighborhood and carry their signs and go through the neighborhood. And while they're going through the neighborhood, somebody is pulling a wagon. And on the wagon, there's a speaker. And they're playing some of the Green Actioneer songs while they go through the community with their signs and with their songs. People are going to pay attention. in some communities like ours here in Celebration, Florida, you end up at the downtown, at the center of town. And of course, at the center of every town, there's an open space or a stage. And so the kids then end up on that stage and they can sing one of the Green Actioneer songs on that stage. Now, what has happened is we've taken what started as something that each family was doing, we expanded it to the whole school, and now we're going to expand it to the entire community. And so uh, anybody who has a cell phone is going to video this, and it's going to go up online, and it's going to be broadcast to the world. So that's what we want to have happen, is start at the household level, bring it to the school. From the school, it goes to the community with a parade for the planet on Earth Day. So we'll test this out next year, and we'll get it going and see how many schools I can get to join the parade on Earth Day. And we call it a parade for the planet. It looks a little bit like a protest march because everybody's got a sign and they're singing, but what they're singing is about how to take care of planet Earth. So that's the plan.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah. So my last question for you: what challenges do family face in adapting this kind of green practice, and how can they overcome them together from this challenging situation?
Yeah, I think there's the problem of participation, that not every family is going to want to get in on this right away. And so the way that we get them in on it is the most eager kids and the most eager families start to take green actions. The actions are not expensive. I mean, if you go through the book, you'll see that so many of the actions are free that everybody can do them. So then they begin to influence their friends. Here's one that is really good for the community. Start a walking school bus. Well, in this country, most kids come to school in some form of transportation. But imagine if a mom or dad started a walking school bus, and it's A, good for the health of the kids because they're going to walk to school. And B, it stops putting pollution up in the sky because you don't need that bus. So the way it works, uh, you live maybe a mile away from school, and you and your family, there's a dad or a mom who goes with the group, goes past every house between your house and the school and collects all the kids, and you walk together to school. That's a walking school bus. Well, we can do that in this country. I don't know if you can do it in every country, but it gets the kids to school without using transportation. It's a small drop. Every one of these actions is a small drop, and no action is more important than any other. What's important is the direction of the actions. That if you start with a very simple action, uh, you're going to do something a little more difficult next time. And eventually you're going to be going like, Mom, we really have to uh, put those those solar panels on the roof. I've done everything else, and now we're up to the point where all I have left is solar panels. So, Mom, I'll do whatever I have to get us the money to put those solar panels on the roof. Please, Mom. And that's what's going to change the world. Is the kids are going to get excited about this. They're going to move us all forward. And I hate to lay this on them, but if we don't put them in charge of the change, we're going to put them in charge of the problem. Uh, so that instead of taking action now, they're going to have to take action when they're adults, and when they're up to here in garbage, uh, then they're going to have to take action. So I would much rather get them on board now and turn all of our schools into green schools. So that award that I got was from the National Green Schools movement, and it's called the Lifetime Achievement Award. I think it's premature because I'm only 84 years old and I haven't had a lifetime yet. I've had most of one, but I've still got a lot of years left. And so, what I think is that people are going to get a hold of this idea and they're going to run with it and they're going to change it and modify it and make it work for them. They'll either in a school that only goes through, let's say, 9 years old, 8 or 9 years old, they would probably want to use this series of pictures. This is free, by the way, and it shows up on your cell phone, and you can flip through it. Just flip, 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 and you can see all of these green actions. And so anybody with a cell phone can participate. It's free. And the Green Actioneers Family Action Guide, the book, we will give a free link to the book to every family if they don't want to buy one, because we want everybody to participate. This isn't something where you can sit on the sidelines and watch the world change. This is something where you have got to become part of the change. The change begins with you. And so when you go like this and point to somebody else, one finger is pointing out and three fingers are pointing back in. So I think that's really important, that we have to go, this is not for you, this is for us. And so that's what kids get right away, is this is not somebody else's job. This is your job. By the time they're adults, they've lost that. And so that's why it's so important to work with kids. Kids get this. Kids understand that if we don't take care of the planet, it won't take care of us. Grown-ups, many grown-ups are too busy chasing money to think about going green, about saving energy, saving water, saving money, and creating a clean, green future for everybody. But that's what we have to do.
Thank you. Family is the nucleus for drive green action by sharing values, reducing waste, conserving energy, planting trees, and inspiring community to adopt sustainable lifestyle for healthier, resilient future together. That is the bottom line for today's discussion, and that is the most interesting part of this green action here. I want Bangladesh should adopt this book. I want South Asia should adopt this book. I want Asia Pacific can adopt this book. Family is the most important factors in our community, and Professor Dave innovating different kind of solution for green action. And he is correct. We do not need to go for this big talk. We do not have to go for this big commitment. We need real action through family, which is the nucleus of the society, through our grassroots level community, what he discussed about, like, bottom up approach. And by this way we can take green action when we can save our planet. Bangladesh is one of the vulnerable countries. India, Maldives, and many countries in Asia Pacific. I strongly believe this book can save our planet. Thank you, Professor Dave, for your excellent contribution for this planet. We are really proud of you, how you contributing for this global community, how you contributing for this family, and definitely your new like lifetime achievement award from Columbia University, and we want to award you in Bangladesh for your excellent contributions in our conference as a lifetime achievement award. And hopefully through this global north and global south relationship, we can make better world. We can save our family. Thank you for your great initiative. Thank you.
Yes, well, and I suggest everyone go to Spotify or wherever you get your online music and listen to Green Actioneers. So you can find Green Actioneers for free on all of the platforms, YouTube, everywhere, and listen to the songs, and I think you'll be inspired.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your contribution. I request all of our audience, please share our content with the government agency, with the community, with the government agency, corporation, and academia, with any family. I think any single family can get benefit through this initiative. Thank you. Bye bye and take care.